Some dreams die. Have you experienced this? You've dreamt big. You've tried your very hardest. You've put your heart and your soul and your time and your money into your dream. Many people didn't believe in you, but you told them you were going to do it anyway. Or many people believed in you and told you you could do it, but it's becoming very clear to you in this moment that your dream is dying. What now? Over and over in our lives, we've heard, never give up on your dream. But sometimes, as you pursue your dream, you realize the dream is dying. It isn't going to come true for me. And it just leaves you feeling empty. Look, I've been there so many times in my life, more times than you can count. And the real danger of having a dream die is this feeling that maybe I'm not worthy of having a large dream. Maybe dreaming isn't for me. It's for those successful people, and I need to go do something small and simple and out of the way. We often give up on the process of dreaming when we hit this moment where a dream dies. And I don't want you to do that. You can dream big. And I'm going to tell you why. My name is Selinger. I'm a world-class master magician, an award-winning filmmaker, and I even just gave a TEDx talk on dreaming and why it's so important. And I'm here to help you today to dream again and to overcome this feeling of failure when a dream dies. The first thing we're going to do is discover the 4 reasons why a dream dies. The first is that it just stops being relevant. Like when I was a kid, I dreamt of being an astronaut. But then that quickly became irrelevant because I then dreamt about becoming a firefighter. Now, let me say that's the dream of a child, but it actually illustrates the point. Sometimes we have a dream that is very, very real to us in a particular moment, but as we grow and mature, we begin to realize, actually, that dream's not for me, and we grow beyond it. In fact, you may think dreaming of becoming a professional magician is a childhood dream, and it is. And I became a professional magician. That was a dream much later down the line. The second dream killer is a little bit more difficult to palate because it's when your projected ability doesn't match up to what is required by the dream. Now, what do I mean by this? My first dream, like real dream, like intense dream, was to be a professional basketball player. I dreamt of playing for the national program and even maybe making it to the NBA. I dreamt that to be true and I went after it with my whole heart. But it turns out I just have average athletic ability. And in spite of my very best efforts, that dream died. In this case, my abilities did not match up to what I was trying to accomplish. But that wasn't the end. It turns out I have just average athletic ability. And in spite of my very best efforts, some dreams die. But that wasn't the end, because that dream became the seed for my next dream. Now, when a dream ends like this, it's difficult because it's not that we don't desire the dream anymore, like the first dream killer. This is one of those cases that we desire it, but it just isn't going to happen for us. And we have to go through a process of dealing with the death of that dream and allowing ourselves to dream again. I'm going to give you the steps to deal with a dream like this, but spoiler alert, you've got to grieve it. Now, how do you know when you need to let go of a dream? Like, when is it time to call it and say, this dream isn't going to happen? That's a subject for a video in the future, but there is an evaluative process. And sometimes you don't have to let go of the whole dream, but you just have to tweak it a bit or just change your focus a bit and you could pursue it in a different way. But we'll get to that in a different video. The third dream killer is that you killed it. Eminem was right. Sometimes you only get one shot. A lot of dreams, you get multiple attempts to try and make them come true, but sometimes they are very temporal. A great example of this is over the years, many athletes wanted to be in the Olympics, but because of injury or sickness or something beyond their control, their dream dies. Or they do something foolish, like I remember hearing about athletes that took cold medication and it killed their Olympic dreams. That happens sometimes where a mistake or something comes along in your life, or you make a decision that kills your dream. This is also tough to take, and you got to grieve the loss of that dream. And the fourth dream killer is much like the first. It's that you've got a different dream that's come along that's bigger and more important than the first dream. Like the first dream is something you still desire, and it still kind of is a dream, something you'd like to do, but it isn't your main focus anymore. And so it starts to take a back seat, you put it on a back burner, and slowly you forget about it, and it eventually shrivels up and dies. Now, dreams like this are ones that we need to, if we can, keep alive, even on the back burner, because you never know when they may become relevant in the future. Here's an example of a different dream taking over the previous. I am a filmmaker. I've made many films in my life. I've even won awards for them. But when I started really getting a lot of opportunity to perform magic, I put my filmmaking on the back burner. And it would be really easy just to forget about it. Just, I'm never going to make a film again. This is the dream I'm pursuing. But instead, what I've done is I've kept that dream alive. I continue to write scripts. I continue to study film in hopes that I will be able to get back behind the camera and in the director's chair again and make another film. It's still a passion of mine. It's not my primary dream, but I'm not going to let that dream die. But again, this is the subject of a future video of how to keep those secondary dreams alive. And I'm going to add an honorable mention here of a dream killer because it's one that we've all experienced, and that is sometimes dreams die because of lack of belief. We just stop believing in ourselves. We get imposter syndrome. We stop believing in our ability to accomplish the dream. It's not because we evaluated our skills honestly, but it's just that nagging doubt that maybe I'm not good enough to go after this dream and maybe I just need to stop. Well, I'm here to encourage you to not lose belief in yourself, to not lose belief in the process of dreaming. And this is the big idea. And just like I said in my TEDx talk, some dreams die, but seeds don't sprout and grow unless they die. So it's not never give up on your dream, but never give up on dreaming. So if I were speaking to my younger self, I would say, stay in the battle. Stay in the process. Dream again. So what do you do when your dream dies? When it becomes clear to you that this is the end. This isn't going to happen. I've experienced this many times. That basketball dream, I remember waking up one day and going, I'm an average basketball player. I'm working really, really hard, but I am not going to be as good as these other guys that I see on my team that are better than I am. I'm not going to be good enough to make those top tier teams, even if I work 24/7. I just realized the truth of it. I didn't want to be like one of those people, on American Idol, remember that old singing show that got on there and tried to sing, but it was clear they just didn't have what it took to be an internationally renowned singer.
Can't sing either.
I'm unique! Woo!
And so I called it quits on that dream. And when that happens, and if you're in that place where you're like, I got to let this dream go so I could dream again, here are the 3 steps you need to do. The first is you need to breathe. Like literally just breathe. Just be in the moment. It's okay. Know that you're okay. That just because this dream didn't work out for you doesn't mean that you're a failure, and you're going to be able to dream again. And the next one might be the one. Just breathe. The second is to grieve. Like literally go through the 5 stages of grief. Start with denial, and then move on to bargaining, and then to anger, and then to sadness, and eventually to acceptance. You've got to go through the cycle of grief and accept the fact that this isn't going to happen for you so you could let it go and again, dream again. It's a lot like when a relationship ends. If you've ever had a relationship end, it hurts a lot, especially if you've invested a lot in it. Well, you have a relationship with your dreams. And if you've invested a lot into pursuing this dream, it's gonna hurt. So you gotta grieve. Understand that it is normal to be human. You've got to let yourself go through the emotions. Nobody tells you this stuff, but this is the real work of knowing how to dream. You got to grieve it. And then the third thing is come back and believe again. Believe that you can dream. Dream again. Begin to ask yourself the relevant question, what if? What if I do this? Find the next thing, the next dream that you want to begin to pursue, and begin to put yourself into that process of dreaming once more, believing that you can dream and that dreams do come true. Not all of them, but the right ones do. Now, I desperately want you to dream because of this.
The more people that dream, the better this world becomes.
So that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you dream big and realize those dreams. I'm Derek Selinger. We'll see you next time. Live bright, love big.